Namaskar. I am Meenakshi Patidar, TGT Science from JNV Sonitpur, Assam. As you know that when we start our day, what we do, we brush our teeth. And then what is you require for brushing your teeth? And next you take a bath. What is required for taking the bath? And also you cook the food. And if you want to boil the vegetables, and also for making a dough, for making the chapatis, what you need, the most important thing what you need, yes, exactly, it's water. Now think that if we are not getting the water for a single day, or think of the situation when you are not getting even the water for drink, for water to drink, then what will be the situation or what will be the consequences? So you will feel dehydration in your body, and ultimately after a few days you will not able to survive. So the water is very important for our life, that it will lead to the continuity of life. And also you can see that there are means after just suppose that your family is getting a 1 bucket of water for a 1 week every day, then what will be the consequences will happen, or what would happen? Then think that the situation where there is a shortage of water, and also have you faced any situation of shortage of water in your life? And where we get the water, all we will come to know in the chapter Water, a Precious Resource of Class 7 Science NCERT. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to learn about the different forms of water and their availability. Then you will be able to understand about the processes involved in recycling of water in nature, and also you will understood about the changes involved in it. And in this chapter I will explain you about the groundwater, and you will understand about the significance of different sources of groundwater. Then you can critically analyze the concept of depletion of water and their factors, and also processes which are related with the recharging of the groundwater. Then you will be able to understand about the concept of water management and examine the role of individual in this. Now we will discuss all this in a detail. First of all, water is very important for all. So we will discuss all importance of water. Then we will discuss sources of water. Then we will discuss what is the importance of water in our life. That's why we celebrate the World Water Day. Now we will discuss all this in detail. First of all, what is the importance of water? Water is very important for human being, as we have discussed that we cannot able to survive without water, even a particular for a few days. So this is very important for us. In spite of human being, the plants also need the water. So water is a natural resource that is vital for both plants and animals. What do you mean by vital? Vital means very important. So it's a part of a life of a plants also. As we know that the plants require the water for making their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So and also the animals are depend on plants for getting their food. So both get affected, means if there is no water, then the plants and animals cannot able to survive like human being. Next is the water is also used by human being by many uses are there. That is for drinking, then cooking, then bathing, washing, and also we use it for cleaning purposes, cleaning the floor. So just imagine that situation that if you are not getting the water for a 1 day, then how can we do all the processes? Then in spite of all these processes, The water is used for agriculture purpose. The plants are require the water for their food, so the farmers are depend on the water for getting their production of a crop. Then also the industries are set up, and also they are giving us many fruits. We generally all the products are generally made in a factories or industries, so they also utilize the water much. Then next is the sources of water. There are many sources of water on the earth, but there are two types of sources, especially the fresh water and saline water. You all know that the earth is known as a blue planet. Why it is known as a blue planet? Because the water is everywhere. There is a large amount of earth is covered with the water, but it is saline, means it is in the form of ocean and seas. And the ocean and seas water is a saline, so we cannot use it for the consumption purpose. It is not fit for the human consumption or human use. But the freshwater sources are these: rain, river, then lake, pond, streams, glaciers, and underground water are some sources of the fresh water you can see here. So these are the sources which are very less on the earth. Next is we know that there is a very shortage of water is there in some places. Different places having a acute shortage even on the globe. So have you seen this long queues are there? Maybe you have seen this running taps are dry up. You have also have seen the marches or demand for the water. And also you have seen that there are some newspaper articles are there that based on the shortage of water in a particular area. So these are some situation, and all the situation will shows us that there is a shortage of water or fresh water on the globe. So for awareing the people to conserve the water, or what is the importance of water in their life, and also how to conserve it, how to manage it, we celebrated the day, World Water Day, which is on the 22 March, and this is for basically for conserving it, or basically to aware the people, or it is focusing on the attention, focusing on the conservation of water. Now after this we will come to know that how much water we have on the globe, or the availability of water. All you know that there is a water everywhere, but the 71% of water is covered with the water. So there is a lot of water is there, but unfortunately we have only 0.006% of water, all the water on the earth, which is available for the human consumption, or we can say it's a fresh water sources on the earth. So that is very less. Assume that this is all the water which is present on the ground, on the earth, and the fresh water source is very less. That is, out of this it is very small. Then this is in the form of lakes, the biota, then river, then atmosphere water pressure is very less, and the soil moisture. And there is one activity that if this is assume that this is suppose it is a total 100% water on the earth, and out of this water the fresh water is only 3%, and out of this 3% the readily available water is 0.03003%, which is readily available on the earth. So you can see that this is only a tiny fraction of water, earth water is available for human use. Then next we will discuss forms of water. The water exists in the three forms in nature, that is solid, which is in the form of ice, and it is found in glaciers and ice caps, and the liquid state. The liquid is found in water bodies, all the water bodies like river, lakes, ponds and streams. And the third state is water vapor. This in the all the water vapor which is found in the air. It is a all these three states are interconvertible, and we can see this all the three states in the water cycle in nature. You know that this is a collection. Collection means all the water body, just like ocean, river, lake, pond, all together it may be called as a collection, or the water is collected here. And when these sun rays are heating the surface of the water, then the liquid form of the water will turn into a vapor, and this process is known as evaporation. After this, the water vapor get cooled down and it will form a tiny droplets and condense together and form a clouds, and this process is known as condensation process. And after that, after condensation, when these clouds are close to near the earth or maybe calm down or slowly become heavy, they will go near the earth and they will generally fall on the ground. Means all the drops will fall on the ground, and this process is known as precipitation. So when all this water will fall down on the ground, so some of the water is seeping inside the ground and some of the water will flow away and mix with the collection again. Means again it will mix with the river and the ocean. So this is all, the water is circulating in the nature like this. Means it will turn first into liquid form to the vapor form, and again to liquid form. And now let's do one activity that you have to label it, and for you I am just labeling it. So this is a water body, and all the water, it is showing the evaporation. So you can write here evaporation. Then all the vapors will cool down, and the process is known as condensation. Then this is the clouds, and when the clouds are cooled down or it will fall down on the ground, so all the drops will fall down, and this is called precipitation. And then after precipitation, all the water reach to the ground, and the process is known as infiltration. The water which is infiltrate is collected in the groundwater, and some of the water of the rain will flow away and again mix with the water body. So this is the circle, or we can say it is a cycle of water. The next is groundwater. Groundwater is very important source of water, on fresh water on the ground, and we can say that this is very important because construction work and all the work of the industries or agriculture or a household work is done by this water only. And first of all, what is water table? The water table is if we dig deeper and deeper into the earth or ground, then we will reach a level where there is all the soil or the rock particle are filled with the water, and their upper layer is called as a water table. And after that, when below the water table there is a groundwater available to us, and after there is a aquifer. Aquifer is the particularly all the at a place particularly all the rocks are filled with the water, and this is called as an aquifer. We generally drawn out all the water of the aquifer through hand pumps and also wells or the borings. So this is all about the groundwater. Now come to know that which process will lead to the recharging the groundwater, that is infiltration. Infiltration is the process by all the water of the rain will seep inside the ground and it will recharge our aquifer. So in this way, all the water which is present in the groundwater is available to us. Now we will do one activity which is on the basis of a topic groundwater infiltration. We have already discussed in the chapter about the infiltration. It is the process in which water is seeped inside the ground and recharge our groundwater. So we'll do one activity. That's why we require one bottle, plastic bottle like this bottle, and we require soil, then water and filter paper or a piece of a cotton cloth. Okay. Next is what we will do, or how do we proceed. We generally cut the bottle into two pieces. These are the two pieces of this is the bottom part and this is the upper part. The upper part is used for the making it a funnel. It just look like a funnel, and we use it, and then we put a cotton cloth. I use the cotton cloth for it instead of a filter paper here. Then we put it here on the bottom part of the bottle. Then just put soil in it and covered it 1/3 at least. Put some soil in it. Now put some water in it and wait for some time and observe. Do you see some water is trickling down? Some water is trickling down and collected in the bottom of the bottle, and this water is, we may consider it as a groundwater, and this soil is considered as a ground. So this, you can say that this is a infiltration. When the water is seeped through this and it will collected in the bottom, and this is the just like a groundwater, we can say. So this is all about the activity. What we have concluded, what we have observed, that the water which was poured over the soil has percolated through the soil and part of it gets collected in the container. Can you relate this process with the accumulation of groundwater? Yes, we can relate it by the accumulation of groundwater. Now another activity you can do, that what do we conclude? What do we conclude? That we have concluded by this activity that this is a infiltration. It's a process in which the water of the river, ocean or rainwater, they are seeped inside the ground and they will collected in the ground, and this is called as this process is known as a infiltration. Then next, let us answer some questions. You can do this activity at your home and you can answer these questions. That do you think that you can get same amount of water after infiltration? Justify your answer. And do you know from where you get water in the tube wells and hand pumps? You can, by this activity you can easily understood and write the answer. Then what is water is in a well is a groundwater, and you can justify the statement. Do you think water is a clean during infiltration? Explain. You can explain it by this process that it will be clean somehow. Then more can we do, that we have to make a pit in the garden of the school or home and connect the pit with the outlet of the wastewater and cover the pit. Keep observing the pit time to time and guess what happens after the water is being collected in the pit. Then this is the more activity you can do at your home. Thank you. Now we will discuss the depletion of water table. We already have known that the groundwater is a very important source of, but if we continuously drawn it out by our wells or tube well or hand pump or different uses, and if we are not recharging it, then it will continuously decreasing. So ultimately what we have to do, that we have to recharge it by any particular means or methods, so it will be conserved for the future. But and before we have to go to conservation part, we have to discuss what is the cause of depletion of water table. There are three major causes of depletion of water table, that is increasing the population and the and also the increasing the industries and agriculture activity. First is increasing the population. The domestic needs, that is a percentage given here, that is 8% is used for the domestic need by the population. The population, as you know, that it is increasing continuously, and they also demand the more and more water for the household work and many other uses, and also they demand for the construction of houses, construction of offices, hospitals, pavement, roads. So they decrease the amount of water, groundwater, because the construction work requires lots of water for construction, and also the open area will be decreasing because all the construction work is done by cement. So there is no any area for seeping that allow the seeping of the water. So it's very difficult to manage it. So simple, by increasing the population, it is continuously decreasing. This is the major cause. Then next is increasing the industry. We are setting industries continuously. For setting the one industry in the particular area, it also requires lots of water for the construction. They also clean the forest area, so that also the forest also help in the recharging the groundwater in the form, and also the more rainfall is there because of the forest. So if we are cutting the forest area and we are setting an industry, that also require a lot of groundwater, and after that if we are setting the industries, then we generally use the water for the formation of a particular product or for manufacturing the products. So this water is used in a large amount, that is 22% of the water. Then next is the agriculture activity. You know that India is agriculture, the dominating country. Then these people, many farmers, they use the water from rain, but in the certain areas, because there is a very different situations, means erratic rainfalls are there, so they have to depend on the groundwater for their agriculture or irrigation. So simple, they use the major amount of groundwater, that is 70%, and for that they generally use it. So, and also the population demands or pressurize on the agriculture to produce more and more food for them. So that also creates the problem. So that's why they use it. Now come to the next, that is the distribution of water. The distribution of water or rainfall, we can say, in the globe is very uneven. Means, look at the map. This is the map of India. Annual rainfall is there. So there are some places which are indicated by the colors. The first is a very dark color here, the northeastern region, and also some areas of the Maharashtra, then Karnataka and the Kerala. Then these side, this will be above 400 centimeter rainfall will be measured. But in the certain areas, there are very less amount of rainfall is there in the Rajasthan. So there is a desert. So simple, the situations are very unfavorable in the Rajasthan, and also there is some favorable situations in the area. So there is a more forest. So simple, this is an uneven distribution of rainfall, and if there is such a situation, then the particular area where there is no rainfall, then there may be a chance of having a drought, and if there is a more rainfall, then it may lead to the floods. So this is the uneven distribution of water. So now if we are facing the many problems regarding the water or the water scarcity or water conservation, so we generally discuss, we come to know that how to manage it, or we generally have to minimize the use of the water to use it for the further or for future. So these are some ways that how can we manage the water. The first is use judiciously. Means judiciously is simple meaning that you have to use it wisely, that or not wasted it. You can use it the amount which is needed, really needed. Okay, next is the rainwater harvesting. The rainwater is river and then again to the ocean, and it become a saline, and we are not getting it again. We can only get it by the rain. So simple, if we conserve it, then it will be a very good for us to save the water. Then next is a drip irrigation. Some of the modern methods are there for irrigation, which is very good for conserving the water. Okay, let's discuss all these processes in detail. First is use judiciously. Judiciously, we already have talking. I have already explained to you, but these are the some ways that how can you avoid the wastage. If you apply these methods, then you will be able to save the water. So first is if their taps are leaking, you have to inform the municipal corporation, or you have to call the plumber to fix it out. And also, instead of using the hose, a wider mouth hose, we can use the cloth, or we can mop the car. Then next is watering the plant during the morning and evening is better, because if we watering the plants in the afternoon time, then it will evaporate very quickly and it will be not usable, not used for the plant. And also we can use the one more thing, that we cannot use, we can watering the plant directly to the base of the plant, not by the hose. And then next is repair all leaky pipes or taps as far as possible, and also the taking the bath to a bucket, not by a shower. Should not take a long showers. Then next is, instead of using a running water for washing utensils, we can use the one bucket, or we can use it a tub and soak it, and we can use it for cleaning. Then while brushing, just stop or do not leave a tap running while brushing your teeth. And also one method that is very useful, that the water which is extra in the kitchen, we can use it for gardening. So that is a very good method to avoid the wastage of water. Next is the rainwater harvesting. There are two methods of rainwater harvesting we can use or apply. That is surface runoff rainwater harvesting and rooftop rainwater harvesting. Surface runoff harvesting is using one chamber. All the water which is flow away is collected in this chamber, and this water is allowed to seep inside the ground, and it will recharge our groundwater. So we can use it in the summers, or maybe for many purposes we can use it later on. Then next is the rooftop rainwater harvesting. Our house roof we can use to collect the water of a rain, and we dig a hole and put all the water in it, and we can use it for our household works, and also we can use this water to allow into the ground to increase our groundwater level. Then next is the modern, you have heard about the different types of methods, the old practices of irrigation that require a lot of amount of water, and in the certain area there are very much scanty rainfall, and also the shortage of water is there. So this is a very good method or technique to be used by the farmers, that is drip irrigation. It is a technique in which narrow tubings are directly pouring the water to the base of the plant, so that they generally avoid the wastage of water. So these tubings have a narrow hole, and it will drop by drop put a water in it in the base of the plant, and in this way they avoid the wastage. So this is a good method for irrigation to avoid the wastage. And also in some places they also have the boweries, and nowadays they are recharging it, because this is an old practice, and most of the area they are just forget it, and they are not using it, but nowadays they are recharging their boweries. Then next is effect of water scarcity on plant. As we have discussed that water is very much important for the plant. If you are not watering the plant, then they will wilted, dry up, and ultimately they will die. So these are very important, that they are preparing their own food by the process of photosynthesis. They need the nutrients. If they are not having the nutrients, then how can they able to survive? So if there is a scarcity of water, then there will be a plants that are having a stunted growth, they decrease the food production and also famine. So these are the situation, and if there is no plants on the earth, then what are the consequences will happen? You can see this figure that if there is no plants, then the CO2 will be more and more absorbed by the atmosphere, or there is more CO2 will be produced and it will not absorb by the plant. So it will cause a increase in the temperature of the globe and ultimately lead to global warming. And after, if there is no plant, then there will be a chance of a pollution, more pollution. Then also if there is no plants, then the chance of the rainfall will be less and maybe no rainfall. So it may cause a drought in that particular area, and the area will turn into a desert generally. And also the plants is very important for animals because they gives us oxygen, and also we are depending on the animals for the food. So if plants are not there, then we could not find a way of a life. So we cannot get the food. So if the plants are not there, so all the animals will be affected and they will die. Then next is the shortage of food is there. More about the shortage. Then flooding of the river, because the trees and plants, they hold the soil, and in this way they are preventing the erosion of soil and the flooding of a area. So this is very much important. Now what we have learned in this chapter, we have learned that the water is essential for all living beings. There can be no life without it. It's very important source. Then water exists in three forms, that is solid, liquid and gas. We already have learned the water cycle, and also there is an acute scarcity of water in many parts of the globe. And also we have learned that uneven distribution of water in the many areas, many places there is a very much rainfall, and in some areas there is no rainfall at all. Then also there is a rapid growth of industries and increasing population, growing irrigation requirements and mismanagement are some of the causes for water shortage. Then also we need to be worried about the wastage during the supply of water through pipes. The leaking tap is building, and all we have discussed in the use judiciously, that we have to recharge it by any means. Then also the need of the hour is that every individual uses water economy, and plants wilt and ultimately dry if they are not watered for a few days. And these are some links that you can go through these links and you can have a more knowledge of it. Now last at the end, that I want to tell you that if we have water, we think of the future. Thank you.